Welcome to the first episode of 7 Minutes with Viseven This year. This is a series that we started in 2024, introducing our great specialists. So their practices, experiences, and passions through the short conversations. And as last year, we celebrated the CX Awards, so Customer Experience Awards. This time, also this year, we are planning to invite our finalists to be our guests on the podcast to get them know better. And today we are opening the year with a new background of the new office and at the same time an interesting guest, a delivery director, Lucas Laroz, who won the Delivery Excellence Award a few months ago. So, Lucas, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for the introduction. It's a fantastic morning over here. So happy to be around and thank you so much for the invitation.
So, Lucas, with this great energy, I would like to start with the first question, which is about the strategies and technique that you found the most effective in like building the strong and lasting relationships with clients. As we know, you work a lot with the clients, so it might be helpful for someone else too.
Well, when we talk about building long-lasting relationships, I obviously there are multiple ways, there are more multiple strategies. In my mind, it's all about creating a partnership, and this partnership needs to thrive over time. You need to think about how can we go beyond just completing these one-off projects because I feel like everything
Mm,
evolved in the way that we deal with customers lately. It's all about being invested in each other and not just, on, as I said, on that one-off project, but on each other's success overall. We want to adapt to changes. We want to
yeah.
grow together, not just focusing on that. So I think it's especially in our marketing, in pharma marketing, where the landscape, as we all know, is constantly changing, is shifting all over the
Mm,
place. There are new regulations, the market evolves day by day. There are new technologies that are changing the way that we work on a daily basis. Well, clients need partners who are reliable, who are going to be flexible to changes, who are always going to be prepared for what's going to come next. And
absolutely.
yeah, and
Mm,
one of these big things that I'm always thinking of, there's this trend that I've seen so far that, when it comes down to relationships, we want to put the emphasis, as I said before, collaboration and adaptability, because clients are not looking for a vendor anymore. They just want a trusted advisor who can help them, go through the challenges, seize any opportunities as they come up, and don't have that mindset of just having a one-off project and that's it. No, we want to grow together. We want to make sure that we can collaborate and elaborate new things as we move forward, and of course that we as that partner can stay one step ahead of what they might need. So I think that's one of the things I've been focusing on, and in my opinion, it's been fantastic because it goes just beyond the day-to-day activities of a single project.
The second question will also be about the communications, but with all of the things we talked about, you have to be mindful about all of the things, and to still in this all mindfulness, thinking about all of the impact of the aspects, just to remain like clear and impactful, like especially while dealing this like really complex project requirements. And maybe you have some tools or frameworks that you rely on these cases.
Well, that is a great question. And, connecting to what I said before, I think that you mentioned trust. In my opinion, that is
Yeah.
at the forefront of everything. It's the core of the relationship with the customers. And if we want to make sure that we can have impactful communication, uh, for that to be really impactful, we need to think about trust first. And how can we build that up? In my opinion, trust is that one little thing that you don't see. You don't get to see it with your own eyes, but just changes everything, changes the whole landscape. So it definitely drives it all. And on that's on one end, and on the other end is how do we communicate? How do we get the message out? And there's this concept that everyone's talking about, which is storytelling. Storytelling is absolutely fantastic, and I think it has to be applied not just to work, but in every aspect of our lives. For those who don't know, storytelling is a way that will help us frame information in a way that resonates, I would say, emotionally, and makes it easier to digest. In all different markets, but in ours, where the content can be very technical, can get complex, can be very dense. Telling a story, will help focus everyone's attention on the bigger picture, while you can still obviously cover the details because you need to go over those.
When there are, deadlines and unexpected obstacles that you kind of have to face, then not only you but also the client side has to like be motivated enough to get through like some situations that maybe were not planned to be. And I think like your answer before like already helps with the storytelling, with like keeping like a great environment, but maybe you have something else to add.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can talk about that all day long, I think. But overall, if I need to summarize it, I would say that when it's about tight deadlines, you want to make sure that everyone feels empowered to communicate and to say what they need to. Because when problems arises, and they will, because that's part of life, you want to make sure
Absolutely.
that your team feels this psychological safety to raise their hand and say, hey, this is where I think we might have an issue, or we already have an issue and we need to fix it. Let's get hands on this. I need some help. Well, that's a one key area that I've learned in life, where you need to build a team that has that safety of saying, raising their hands and say, hey, I really need this help, or I've seen this and we need to fix it ASAP. And it goes both ways. It's also on the customer side, because no project is perfect, and we want to make sure that everyone is aligned and understands what is the driving factor for, the obstacle or the tight deadline, or what's going to be the next step to making sure that we succeed.
This conversation's been a pleasure. So thank you again for spending time with us for Commit and stay involved.
Bye bye.